So, as we're beginning our task here, I want to give you a couple homework assignments. So the first homework assignment is to write down a list of what gifts you believe you have, both natural and spiritual. And you may not know them all, but let's start with what you know, okay? So you may be good with money, you may be organized, you may have academic gifts, you may be someone who likes to serve others, you might be able to cook, you might have some of these spiritual gifts, or sometimes you might have ones that are natural gifts that go with it. So you might have already seen that you have the ability to teach. But think now outside of just this box and think about Bezalel and Oholiab, right? So they had abilities in crafts and in setting stone, working with gold. So think about all of the things that you are able to do. And you can do it well. Things that are kind of your strong point. You know, some people are better in math, like from an academic standpoint. Others are better in English. You know, some people, we have these different skills and abilities. Some people are very much people persons. They love to be around people. They love to talk, whereas some people are more reserved. They prefer to be by themselves. Some people are planners. Some people are more spontaneous. You know, some people have got their lives and things planned out, and other people just kind of take it as it comes. So some people are careful with their money. They're savers. Some people know how to do a good budget. Some people know how to manage their resources well. Some people know how to decorate, to be hospitable, to give themselves to others. Some people, so just think about all of those different kinds. And then think about how those gifts kind of work together. Because often we'll have what I'll call clusters of giftedness. So certain areas, so for instance, you might be really good at doing something and you enjoy helping people do it. So not only do you have the skill to do it, but you have the gift of being able to do it, of showing it and helping others. Some people are really good at things, but they're horrible at helping others with it, right? You probably experienced that. Some people have no patience for helping others. That perhaps is an area to work on. But let's start with where we're at. What are the gifts and strengths that God has given you? Okay? So then, try to categorize natural gifts, and you may know of spiritual gifts, or think you might have some. Put those down. This is a discovery process. Okay? And then what I want you to do is go back and think about those gifts that you have and see how good you're doing on the faithfulness scale. There's kind of two quadrants that I would measure that. One is how have you developed your gift? So for instance, some people are born with the gift of music. They just are able to hear and sing or play an instrument. They're really good at it. They just have a natural skill or a gift. But they may never then take that and develop it. So you have to add to that natural ability discipline, right? It takes some work to develop a gift. So it takes practice, taking a musical instrument, learning how to use it, spending the time, putting in the lessons. So that's an example of having a basic gift and then developing that. You know, part of us, we have some built in with our educational system to some of the development that we do, right? So you may have some gifts that you're kind of forced to develop them. Some maybe that you didn't have the gift, but you're forced to gain competency and to do the work that you got to do, right? So let's measure that. So the first one is, have you developed it, and how? And then the second quadrant, or the second, I guess, axis, would be, how have you used it in service of God and service to others? So you think of that as XY axes. No, you'd want to be out the diagonal line, but we might be back at 0. But that's okay, as long as we then recognize it. Say, okay, well, let's now start working. Because faithfulness in natural is first, and if we develop and work on these, God will give us more. Okay? So let's pray.